Hi, fellow traders. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I had some things going on and trying to kind of reinvent myself, reset, whatever I need to do. Um, Obviously the summertime has been slow, and did decent during the summer. I maintained, but I think when the when September rolled in, I was expecting the market to pick up after Labor Day, and it didn't. It disappointed for the last 3 weeks, and I was pretty bummed because I was looking to make up for some lost ground throughout the summer and start making it up this month, and it's not happening. So I had to refocus, just go back through some things, and been listening to a motivational speaker, and understanding that this is part of anything that you do. It doesn't matter what you do. If you have passion for something, it it doesn't matter. You're gonna run through hard times. Things are not gonna go right all the time, and they're not gonna go according to plan all the time. But you have to work. You still have to get up. You have to grind, and sometimes you have to adapt. And that's kind of what I was looking at. So my trading may look a little different, and I'm gonna focus, kind of reset the small account thing that I was doing, because I get feedback. I use feedback to help me be a better person because I'm trying to go from good to great, and I went from average, and now I feel I've made it to good, and now I want to go to great. And I take the feedback that I get from the emails I receive from the videos that I do and stuff. And so I'm going to reset this small account thing and pretty much start from scratch again. I'm not. I doubt if I go back to 1500, but I'll start and just kind of lay some better groundwork because a lot of the traders that I mentor, told me it kind of jumped around for them and there were big gaps. So I need to be more fluid and more consistent with what I'm doing. So I'm going to hit the reset button on it and, restart that. But like I said, I'm taking it. I think the videos were good. I'm going to try to make them great now. And if I do that, I feel that it's all going to show, in my trade, in my personal trading, every day. So, I've just been thinking about a lot of stuff and trying to figure out, the best way to approach this because, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. I still love teaching, but now I love teaching people how to trade. And, that's something that I need to add in to enhance what I'm doing because that's going to take me from being good to great. So, just stay tuned for some of that. I'm going to be sharing some more stuff here in the next coming weeks. So just kind of stay tuned for it. But I'm going to go over the trades I had today. They're not any big trades, but I realized I went and watched Moneyball again, and I realized that I got away from my core strategies. And I was looking for these huge moves all the time. And I was just missing a lot of the smaller trades that actually got me to where I am. So, just because it's a bunt, all of those little bunts is what helped me build my account and got me to where I am. And I can't, turn my back on that. And it's the same, mentality that I was using with my small account. I still need to bring it here. Whatever I'm doing, whatever account I'm trading, I need to do it. Excuse me, yeah, I want to get into more swing trades with my main account, but I think that's going to be more rewarding in the future. But I had to get back to who I was and reset myself. And that's what you're going to see more of, in my trades. Now, yeah, some of the things didn't follow through the way I wanted them to, but you'll see how I managed them today. So the first trade was TWLO. This was on my watch. And what happened was I waited for the first 5 minutes, and 66.40 was the level that I was going to take it long off of. I really felt that, the way the SPY was working this morning, that, long was going to be the best trades out of the gate. And so that's where my bias was. And I said I was looking at TWLO, posted it in chat, that I was looking at it off the 66.40 level. And, which meant I was looking to take it long off of it. If I was going to take it short, I was going to look for the rejection. But I didn't think we were going to get a rejection based on how the market was moving this morning. But we got this candle to put in, the first 5 minutes, which is a lot of indecision here. When this candle opened, we started to get a little wash, but it, started to push up. Now, I was not going to take this for a 5-minute opening range breakdown unless the market started to turn and the price action settled. Now, this would have been a nice trade down to the 200, but that wasn't what I was looking for. So I did have an order sitting here. As this was pushing up, I did have an order sitting here at 66.40 because I felt like this was going to recover, and I was looking for the trade from here, 66.40 to 68.40. And ironically, the 5-minute high was the exact same price as the daily level. So that just gave me more conviction, and I felt good about just putting the order out there. But damn if this thing didn't jump over it. I mean, it jumped over it 5 cents and never did come back and hit it. So I just took the order off, and I posted in chat that I'm going to have to wait, for the pullback. And a lot of times these will pull back to the VWAP, or if there's a level of support somewhere in there, it'll pull back to it before it turns around. And in this case, it pulled back to the VWAP. And once this candle opened, and I got the confirmation that this was going to hold, what it did, it opened, it pulled back, tapped the VWAP, and started to get bought up. And when I start seeing that, you can see buyers coming in on level 2. You can see more people stacking up on the ask side because they're looking to buy. And when you see that, I had conviction to go in because it looks like it was holding. Buyers were coming in, and this thing got bought up. Unfortunately, I only got filled 300 shares. For some reason I had trouble getting filled in this stock. So I had my order out here at 66.79, and what I do is I look at level 2, and when I'm buying, I look at the price on the ask side, because if I hit the ask price, I'm going to get filled immediately. So it's almost like hitting a market order, but I'm using a limit order because I only wanted to fill at that price. And I look to see how many shares are being offered at that price. So when it hit 66.79, I went ahead and set it at 66.79. And when I saw that there were 2,000 shares available at that price based on level 2, I went ahead and clicked it. But only 300 filled. And, at that time, I didn't really have a plan for 300 shares to be in. I knew my stop was still going to be VWAP because before I got in, my plan was to use VWAP as my stop, or a close below it as my stop. This was my ultimate target. And then I was going to pick whole and half dollar marks to, possibly cover and or sell, on the way up. So as this thing was pushing up, I just couldn't get my mind wrapped around a plan for this. There was just no plan. And, it was frustrating that I just couldn't figure out what to do. So I ended up just taking it off. This wasn't a planned sell or anything. It hit 67.40, and I'm like, well, I'm over 50 cents up. I need to go ahead and take it off because I don't really have a plan, and I don't like being in trades if I don't have a plan. So I took it off, and it looks like it was the best thing to do because what I would have done was I'd have still been holding this and ended up getting stopped out here. So that was a good move. I'm glad that my mind is fresh and clean, and I can make solid decisions like that. So that was the first trade I took. WDC wasn't that much better. You can see, this wasn't a gap or anything, so it wasn't on my watch list. It hit the reversal scan, and it had decent volume, and this was the level I was looking at right here. Because it only got up to 58.75 or 76 or something. I was looking for it to get up toward closer to 59, and I was going to get in. But it turned around, and once I got confirmation on the 2-minute that this is probably going to be a pullback, I went ahead and got in here. I got in at 58.44. And my stop was just going to be 20 cents. Because you can see I couldn't use this as my stop. Because the high of this candle was 58.75. So that was too far away. On the high of this candle at that time was 58.71. So I knew that was too far away. So I had to just rely on my 20-cent stop here. Because, this looked nice. This was a nice run up. And I had almost $1, back down from where this thing turned. So I figured if I could get like 60 to 80 cents on 1,000 shares, I mean, that's, a pretty good haul. So I went ahead and got in here. And the price action just started getting real stupid. The minute I got in, it seems like the price action just got dumb. And I did cover some down here at 58.25. And it turned around on me right here, and I ended up stopping out at 58.43, which was about break even. Anytime I make my first cover, I always go to break even on my stop because I'm gonna protect the profit that I did have. So, still a little bunt, but I'm adding to my total. I'm adding to my box score. Let's see. The next one was GoPro. Now here I really lost my mind. This was the stupidest thing. One of the stupidest things that I've done. and I didn't really have control over myself. I was looking at this. I mean, it was a sweet setup because we got the long tail down here, which kind of told me, and it closed back on this level, which kind of told me that 16 was going to hold, and it would be safe for me to get in. So I got in here at 1605. You know, and looking for 1625 for my first potential cover, or, you know, the 9. But obviously the VWAP was going to be my ultimate target. Well, we got in, made a nice move up, but then it stalled. It stalled up here. Pulled back a little bit and started to move up, and it was having trouble. And I was in 2,000 shares. My hands were shaking because only thing I could think about, instead of me thinking about what could go right, I was thinking about everything that could go wrong, and that this thing could wash out. I can get a flash wash and be down, you know, $500 or $600 before I can get out. And I was just so nervous. So I did take half of it off here at 16.21. So I only picked up, you know, 16 cents on that deal, but that's, you know, 1,000 shares at 16 cents, that's 160 bucks. So that, you know, that's not too bad. But then when it got to the 9, I went ahead and took 500 shares off here. And then when it pulled back and I lost this level, I went ahead and took the last 500 off. I wasn't going to let it go back and test. I wasn't going to really hold through all that. But as you can see, this level held again, and it did make the move all the way up to VWAP, all the way up to this level here, 16.7. You know, there again, if I'd have had the swing trader mentality on this, I would have been able to hold through this and ended up getting my target. But you know, and this is why I've been thinking about it, you know, so much. But I managed this, managed to book some decent profit, you know, add more to my box score. And the last trade I took was WB, and you know, this was another reversal, and I really like this one. Even though the volume was dead, it picked up a little bit here. I know we didn't quite get to 100,000 shares, but we were over 50, and you know, this was pretty decent volume for me, you know, for this late in the day. Even though I didn't get to this 5207 level, I was looking to take it at 52. And I almost started a position up here around in the 90s, but I didn't. This one turned over, and I verified on the 2-minute that, you know, it may be making a turn here. So I went ahead and got in right here at 51.75. And even though the 9 was here, you know, a lot of times late in the day, and we've got this big window of opportunity, I really felt like we could pull back to this level here, at least this level. But really thought we could fade back to here late day, especially with the lack of volume. You know, I thought we could get some pretty decent washes, but it just didn't work. I did take some off here just below the 9, and you know, I did try to recover, but you know, I didn't take it off because actually I tried to, but my order didn't get filled at 75, and as soon as it closed, it opened up down here at 70, so I didn't worry about, you know, trying to take it off. I just let it work, and you know, it pulled back. And the only reason I took it off here was because it was 3:30 and I had to leave to get my son. You know, I can't leave anything on after 3:30. I have to, if I wait till 3:30, I have to run out the door immediately so that I could get there on time. And I just had to cover it and take off. And when I got back to look at this, it was good that I had to leave, because I probably would have stopped out up here. I'd have held it until I lost the 9 and it stopped me out. But just one of those things. I was pretty fortunate today with the way the market did move for me. But it doesn't happen that way all the time. But a lot of little hits, really made the day. I hadn't even looked at my P&L yet. I hadn't even logged back on to see what I even made today. But I felt I did pretty good. I felt I maximized the opportunities that came my way. I did what I could. The follow through wasn't there. The market just wasn't trading well today. But this is how I have to survive. I have to take what I can and go on. But I will be looking at more ways to try and profit, from my trading. It's not only the smart thing to do. If I want to do this for a living, then that's what I have to do. But I hope you guys had a great day. I hate I talked so long, but I had a lot to get out. A lot was bottled up inside me, I guess. But I will be back at it bright and early in the morning. We'll see if we can get some more solid trades. Take advantage of what the market gives us and keep building. So we'll see you tomorrow.